Well, earlier today, we know that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has, in essence, agreed in terms to a deal with Hezbollah within Lebanon. That happening just about an hour ago or so. Joining us now to discuss all things surrounding that is General Amir Avivi, back here on the Live Zone. General, always good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
My pleasure.
All right, so let's jump right into this ceasefire deal, if you will. A lot of folks were expecting it. We heard some of the terms earlier when the Israeli Prime Minister got a chance to hop on TV and actually lay those terms out. I guess the million-dollar question that a lot of folks are posing is, will this really come to fruition and will it last?
Well, it obviously depends on the Lebanese side. Israel has degraded dramatically Hezbollah. It's not the same organization. It has been set back decades. And from the Israeli side, the most important thing is making sure that never again Hezbollah will pose a threat to Israel. And Israel is not intending to rely just on international forces or the Lebanese. If we see Hezbollah rebuilding itself, regrouping, and nothing is done, Israel will act upon it and make sure that Hezbollah cannot be built again.
General, not to cut you off, but we all know, obviously, we want peace in the Middle East. And yet again, the Israeli Prime Minister stating that the ceasefire deal will actually happen. But there are some that are opposing this ceasefire. I'm curious, your take on that, and do you happen to be one of them?
No, I don't oppose the ceasefire, but I want to make sure that we can really impose the terms of the ceasefire. And the terms of the ceasefire are dismantling all the capabilities of Hezbollah in South Lebanon, moving Hezbollah north of the Litani River, and making sure they cannot rebuild themselves ever again. So as long as this happens, I think we can be happy with the ceasefire. But one of the important things that Prime Minister Netanyahu talked about is the Iranian context. Iran is the head of the snake. And there is an expectation in Israel, after the change of administration, that we'll see the U.S. stepping forward, showing leadership, showing its might and strength, and really joining Israel in an attack on these nuclear sites, the military capabilities of Iran, and bring down this Shia axis. This is the crucial thing that needs to be done to really change the fate of the globe, the region, and also to secure Israel for generations to come.
And so in essence, you're stating, sir, that this really begins and ends with Iran. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. That's the head of the snake. We need to deal with Iran. Iran is funding Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis in Yemen and militias in Iraq and Syria. It's training them, it's giving them technologies, guiding them. They are the reason that the Middle East is completely destabilized, and it's time to deal with this, stop their aggression, and build an alliance, a Western Israeli Sunni alliance that will really be able to stand strong and counter Iran and also this Chinese-Russian front that has emerged in the last few years.
All right, so we're talking Iran, we're talking Lebanon, and now we're going to move on to this case, the Gaza Strip. Obviously, with the potential ceasefire deal on the table, a lot of folks are saying, what will happen now with that area? Your take, sir.
So one of the big achievements, talking about Lebanon said we're not going to stop shooting until you stop attacking in Gaza. And now this is over. We're disconnecting between Lebanon and Gaza. In Gaza, the offensive continues. The IDF, just in the last 3 weeks, managed to kill more than 1,300 terrorists and apprehend more than 1,000. So the operations continue until Israel achieves the goal of eradicating Hamas completely as a military and governmental entity, and freeing all the 101 hostages that are still in the hands of Hamas. Israel is moving towards a decisive win in Gaza. It's taking a bit of time. They've built a huge infrastructure in the last 20 years, but the Israeli army is having the upper hand in every encounter, is moving steadily towards victory.
Well, one thing's for sure, and one thing we're all banking on is that we are one step closer to peace in the Middle East. Yet again, we have been joined by General...
I'm very optimistic about how this coming year will look, and I hope we'll see regional peace and security and stability in the Middle East.
Very good, sir. General Amir Avivi, yet again joining us right here on the Live Zone. Sir, thank you so much yet again for your time.
My pleasure.
All right.